Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into the animal kingdom today.
A deep dive into some incredible adaptations.
Yeah, we found this document. It's called 15 Animals with Amazing Abilities. And wow, it's packed with some seriously mind-blowing stuff.
The sheer diversity of life on this planet never ceases to amaze.
Right. And today we're going to see how these animals pull off their incredible feats.
And just as importantly, we'll try to understand why these adaptations evolved. What can they teach us about the natural world?
Exactly. So let's kick things off with a creature that basically laughs in the face of winter.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine, right, a tiny frog, frozen solid, completely lifeless, right?
Yeah, you'd think it was a goner for sure.
You'd think so. But nope, this little guy, the wood frog, thaws out come springtime and, well, hops right back to life.
Wait, so it completely freezes? Like solid?
It's a solid. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. They're found up in North America, by the way.
That's incredible. How is that even possible?
Right. So their bodies, get this, they produce a special kind of antifreeze.
Antifreeze.
Yeah. It protects their cells from damage while they're frozen.
Wow. And then when the weather warms up, they just thaw out and go about their business.
Pretty much. It's amazing. And get this, scientists are actually studying this whole process.
I can see why. There must be so much we could learn from that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think about it. Imagine if we could preserve human organs for transplantation the same way.
Oh, wow. That would be revolutionary.
Right. It could totally change the field of organ transplantation.
Yeah.
Potentially save so many lives.
It's a perfect example of how understanding nature can have a direct impact on our own lives.
Exactly. Okay. Let's switch gears for a sec. We're heading up north, way up north, to the Arctic.
Cold. What are we looking at up there?
Another creature with a unique ability. Reindeer.
Reindeer. What's so special about them?
Well, you know how we see the world in a certain spectrum of light?
Yeah.
Reindeer, they can see something we can't.
Yeah.
Ultraviolet light.
Whoa, really? So they're seeing a whole world that's invisible to us.
It's like they have a superpower.
Yeah.
And it gives them a huge advantage in that harsh environment.
I bet. But how does it help them exactly?
Well, for one, they can spot predators, like wolves. Wolf urine actually reflects UV light.
Ah, so it makes them stand out.
Exactly. Plus, it helps them find food. Lichens, you know.
Yeah.
They show up really clearly against the snow in the UV spectrum.
So their vision is perfectly adapted to their environment. It's fascinating how evolution works.
It really is. Okay, ready for something a little more bizarre?
Always. Bring it on.
All right, let's go to Madagascar.
Oh, Madagascar. Lemurs, right.
Well, yeah, lemurs too, but we're focusing on a gecko. The fish scale gecko.
A fish scale gecko. What's that?
It has a pretty unique defense mechanism. It sheds its skin.
It sheds its skin, like all of it.
Yeah, if a predator grabs it, the scales just come right off.
Whoa. So it basically slips right out of their grasp.
Exactly. Talk about a disappearing act.
That's incredible. How does that even work?
Their scales, they're like specially designed to detach super easily.
Wow. And they live in Madagascar and the Comoro Islands, right?
Right. It makes you wonder what other crazy adaptations are out there.
Oh, there are countless. We've only just begun to scratch the surface. Speaking of incredible adaptations, I think it's time we dove into the ocean.
Oh, you need to visit the humpback whales.
Those are the ones. Their singing is just captivating.
It really is. I mean, those sounds. It's like listening to an underwater orchestra. But here's the thing. We don't actually know for sure why they sing.
Really? It's still a mystery.
Totally. I mean, there are theories, of course. Maybe it's for communication, like sharing info about food or danger.
That makes sense. Or maybe it's like a way to attract mates.
Could be. Or maybe it helps them navigate those vast distances. We're still figuring it all out.
Wow. So much we still don't know about the ocean.
So much. Okay, we've talked about surviving, freezing, shedding skin. Now let's talk about regeneration.
Regeneration, like
Yeah.
Wolverine-style regeneration.
Well, not quite that dramatic,
Yeah.
but close. We're talking about sea stars.
Sea stars. I know they can regrow limbs.
Yeah. But sometimes they can even regenerate their entire body, like from a single arm,
Seriously. That's wild.
right? And scientists, they're studying this, hoping to, maybe apply it to human medicine someday.
Imagine that. Regrowing human tissue. Even organs.
It's like science fiction becoming reality.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the immortal jellyfish.
Immortal. Is that, like, for real?
Well, not in the way we usually think about it. They don't live forever in the traditional sense. But they, rewind their life cycle.
Rewind. What does that even mean?
They can revert back to a polyp stage, Basically, they hit the reset button.
So instead of aging and dying, they just become young again.
Pretty much. It usually happens when they're stressed or injured.
Wow, that's incredible. It makes you wonder if there are any secrets to longevity hidden in their DNA.
Maybe. All right, let's come back down to earth for a second and talk about a more, let's say, theatrical defense mechanism.
Theatrical. Okay, you've got my attention.
We're talking about the opossum
Ah,
and their famous act.
the opossum, the masters of playing dead.
Right. But it's not actually a conscious act.
It's not, but they're so good at it.
It's like an involuntary reflex. Their body takes over when they sense extreme danger.
Wow, so it's like a hardwired survival mechanism.
Exactly. Their heart rate drops, they go limp, they even emit this, like, foul odor. The whole works.
Wow, that's commitment.
Right. Okay, let's take a quick trip to Africa. We're meeting a creature with a built-in skincare routine.
Built-in skincare. Now that's my kind of adaptation.
We're talking about the hippopotamus. Their sweat, it acts as both sunscreen and an antibacterial agent.
No way! That's amazing.
Right. It's got these special pigments that protect them from the harsh sun and help prevent infections.
It's like nature's own SPF. And speaking of amazing adaptations, are you ready for something a little strange?
Oh, always up for something strange. Lay it on me.
All right, the sea cucumber. They have a rather unique way of defending themselves.
Let me guess. They shoot lasers out of their eyes.
Haha. Not quite.
Hmm.
But they do expel their internal organs.
What?
Yeah. When they're threatened, they basically squeeze their bodies and shoot out a bunch of their insides.
That's wild.
It is. It's a pretty effective way to deter predators, though.
I can imagine. But wait, what happens to the sea cucumber after that?
Don't worry, they regenerate. It takes a few weeks, but they grow back those lost organs.
Wow. Nature is full of surprises. Speaking of surprises, let's talk about strength.
Strength. Are we talking elephants? Rhinos?
Oh, nope. We're going smaller, much smaller. We're talking about the dung beetle.
The dung beetle. What's so strong about them?
Get this. They can move objects over 1,000 times their own weight.
Seriously, that's like a human pulling 6 double-decker buses.
It's insane. It's all thanks to their powerful muscles, their strong exoskeletons, and those legs. They're built for power.
Wow. Nature's little weightlifter.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, we've seen some impressive regeneration today, but the axolotl takes it to a whole new level.
Axolotls, those cute little salamanders.
The very same. They can regenerate lost limbs, their spinal cord, even parts of their heart and brain.
Whoa. That's incredible.
I know. Scientists are studying them like crazy, hoping to learn how they do it.
Imagine if we could apply that knowledge to human medicine.
It would be revolutionary.
Oh.
Okay, now let's talk about a creature with a reputation for being, well, indestructible. The cockroach.
Oh, no, not cockroaches. Tell me they don't have superpowers, too.
Well, one of their most infamous abilities is their ability to survive decapitation.
Wait, what? They can live without their heads?
For a while, yeah. It's because their brains don't control their breathing or other basic functions the same way ours do.
Oh, okay. That's both impressive and kind of creepy.
I know, right? Let's move on to something a little more charming. How about the clownfish?
Oh, clownfish. I love them. They're so cute.
They are. And their relationship with sea anemones is fascinating.
Right. It's like a perfect partnership.
Total symbiosis. The clownfish gets protection from the anemone's stinging tentacles, and in return, they help keep the anemone clean.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly. Okay, final stop on our animal abilities tour. We're going to Australia, home of the superb lyrebird.
Lyrebirds. Those are the ones that can mimic all sorts of sounds, right?
You got it. They can mimic other birds, car alarms, even chainsaws.
It's amazing. Why do they do that?
Mainly to attract mates and defend their territory. It's like a vocal showdown.
Wow. They're like the ultimate sound artists.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And finally, we can't wrap up without mentioning dolphin echolocation.
Oh, yeah. Using sound to see the world.
Right. They emit sound waves that bounce off objects, giving them a detailed picture of their surroundings. It's like their own personal sonar system.
That's so cool. It's like they have a superpower.
Totally. So there you have it. From freezing frogs to echolocating dolphins, we've covered some seriously amazing animal abilities today.
Wow. Just incredible. The diversity of adaptations in the animal world is mind-blowing.
It really highlights the ingenuity of nature, doesn't it? Like, evolution is constantly experimenting and fine-tuning.
Yeah, fine-tuning. That's a good word for it. Like with that wood frog we were talking about and its freeze-thaw cycle. You mentioned scientists are looking at that for organ transplantation.
Oh, yeah. It's a huge area of research. Imagine, like, the biggest problem with organ transplantation is how to preserve organs outside the body.
Right, right.
We could figure out, how to pause an organ's biological
The
processes.
poem.
Just like the wood frog.
Like hitting the pause button. That's a great analogy.
Right. And then, bam, organ transport becomes way easier. More people get access to life-saving transplants.
Wow, the implications are huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, that nature often holds the solutions to our biggest problems. Okay, confession time. I had no idea reindeer can see UV light before we started this deep dive.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty wild, right?
It's so hard to wrap my head around, like, what does that even look like? Do they see the world in, like, neon colors or something?
It's probably not as trippy as all that, but I mean, we can't really know for sure, right?
Right.
But think about it. It probably allows them to see certain things like, oh, that lichen we talked about with way more contrast, or that wolf urine against the snow.
Ah, so it's more like a specialized visual tool, fine-tuned to their Arctic home.
Exactly. All about survival, right?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what other crazy senses are out there that we have no clue about.
Right. Okay, back to those humpback whales and their mysterious songs.
Yeah.
What are the main theories floating around about their purpose?
So one idea is that it's all about communication.
Yeah.
Maybe they're sharing info, right? Like, hey, food over here, or danger, watch out.
Or like, this is Bob, it's me.
Exactly. Or maybe, it's all about romance.
Romance.
Yeah. The males singing their hearts out to attract a mate. Or some researchers think it could help them navigate.
Navigate.
Yeah, those long migrations. Maybe the songs help them chart their course.
Wow, so it could be like a multi-purpose whale symphony.
Exactly. Communication, romance, navigation. It's fascinating. We still have so much to learn.
Okay, back to the sea stars. Their regeneration is just unreal. But is there a limit? Like, could a sea star that gets chopped into tons of pieces turn into, like, a whole bunch of new sea stars?
So while they are amazing regenerators, there are limits. Generally, they need a good chunk of the central disc to regenerate the whole body, but still to regrow from even a single arm. That's mind-blowing.
It's true. And think about what that could mean for human medicine.
Oh, yeah. Scientists are going crazy over this, trying to figure out the secrets behind it.
What if we could regrow damaged tissue? Organs, even.
The possibilities are endless.
Totally. Okay, immortal jellyfish.
Yeah.
The idea that they can, like, basically live forever is just crazy. But realistically, are there limits?
Oh, for sure. They're still vulnerable. Predators, disease, environmental changes, all that stuff. And even though they can revert to that polyp stage,
Yeah.
it's not always a sure thing, It's usually triggered by stress or injury. And even then, there's always a chance it won't work.
So it's more like they're beating the odds, not totally invincible.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Now, the opossum. Playing dead. Seems kind of risky, right? What if a predator isn't fooled and just takes a bite?
Well, remember, it's an involuntary response, right?
Huh.
They're not consciously deciding to play dead. It's pure instinct. And it's often effective, honestly. Law for predators, they're turned off by the smell of a dead animal, the whole thing.
Makes sense, maximizing their chances of survival.
Exactly.
That hippopotamus sweat sunscreen thing is so cool.
Yeah.
Are scientists actually looking into that for human use?
They are. The chemical composition of hippo sweat is pretty unique. It's those red and orange pigments that give it its color.
Right.
And they found that those pigments have, sunscreen properties and antibacterial ones, too.
Hippo-inspired sunscreen. I love it.
Maybe not exactly like that. But the research could definitely lead to some new and improved products for us.
Okay, I can't put it off any longer. We got to talk about the sea cucumber. It's just so bizarre. How do they actually expel their organs? And how long does it take to grow them back?
It's pretty wild. When they're threatened, they basically contract their muscles super hard and just poof, a bunch of their insides shoot out.
I can't even imagine. But effective, right?
Oh yeah, most predators are like, nope, not dealing with that.
So they regenerate after that.
They do. Takes a few weeks, but they make a full recovery.
Incredible. Okay, we talked about some strong animals today, but those dung beetles are in a league of their own. Is it all muscle that gives them that power?
Muscle is definitely a factor, no doubt. But they also have those incredibly strong exoskeletons. And those legs, they're perfectly adapted for leverage and stability.
Ah, so it's a combination of factors.
Exactly. Plus, their bodies are super efficient at distributing weight, which helps them generate all that force.
Tiny but mighty.
That's the dung beetle. And then we have their regeneration superstar, the axolotl.
I know. Amazing, right? You said scientists are studying them. What exactly are they looking at?
They're focusing on the genes that control the whole regeneration process and the cellular signals involved. Plus, they're studying the axolotl's immune system. It's incredible how it prevents scarring and promotes healthy regrowth.
It's like they have the blueprint, and we're trying to crack the code.
Exactly. If we could figure that out, think about what it could mean for, like, wound healing in humans, tissue regeneration.
Mind-blowing stuff. Okay, I gotta ask, back to the cockroaches.
You and those cockroaches.
How long can they actually survive without their heads? Just morbid curiosity.
All right, all right. A headless cockroach can live for, get this, up to a week.
A week. That's insane.
Yeah.
And terrifying.
A little bit of both, I guess.
Okay, moving on to happier things. Clownfish and their amazing anemone partnerships.
Oh, yeah, a classic example of mutualism.
Right. Everybody wins.
Mhm.
The clownfish get protection. The anemones get cleaning services.
Perfect teamwork.
Speaking of teamwork, those lyrebirds,
Mm.
superbly talented, right?
Yeah.
Mimicking all those sounds to attract mates and defend their territory.
Yeah, it's like they're constantly practicing and adding new sounds to their repertoire.
Right. And finally, we have dolphin echolocation. It's like they've evolved their own sonar system,
Yeah.
right? How accurate is it?
It's incredibly accurate. I mean, they can distinguish between objects as small as, like, a dime.
Wow.
And get this, they can even figure out the internal structure of objects.
It's like they have X-ray vision.
It really is remarkable. They use those sound waves to build a 3D picture of their surroundings. Navigation, hunting, socializing, it all comes down to that echolocation.
Incredible. From those freezing frogs to those echolocating dolphins, what an amazing journey through animal adaptations.
It really makes you appreciate the power of evolution, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Really makes you realize just how much is out there. Amazing adaptations just waiting to be discovered.
Right, and it's not just, cool facts and trivia. By studying these animals, we can learn so much about biology, evolution, even ourselves.
Yeah, it's humbling, isn't it, to see how these creatures have adapted to their environments. It reminds us we're all part of this incredible web of life.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our deep dive today, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
Of all the amazing animal abilities we talked about, which one really, truly stuck with you?
Yeah, which one made you go, whoa, that's incredible?
Or maybe, even a little, ew, that's kind of gross.
Right.
But think about why. What was it about that particular adaptation that got to you?
What does it tell you about your own connection to nature?
Maybe you're fascinated by the idea of regeneration, the potential to heal, to regrow.
Or maybe you're drawn to the mysteries of animal communication, like how those humpback whales sing across the ocean.
Whatever it is, hold on to that curiosity. Keep exploring, keep learning.
The animal kingdom is full of wonders.
And we've only just scratched the surface. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Until next time.